If you're in business, you have no doubt heard about SaaS companies. Those are software as a service, and it's a evolution of the software industry that enables companies to not have to make significant investments in developers and software engineers, and to have access to software that can do the job for them without that expense, and that's in many ways more affordable because they can pay for it monthly rather than at one time. It simplifies the execution of new software. It makes far more software available. It expands the audience of software, and it also is very good for the software company because it expands the people who can take advantage of their software, and it provides a reliable revenue stream to them. And they just have to modify the software, improve it, do the adjustments to it, and everything's built in. A lot of software like that today to drive websites and email marketing and all sorts of things. Well, I look at that analogy in luxury, and I think about the evolution of experiences in luxury and the impact that has had on both the consumer and the person offering the experience. And I think of that as selling your service as a luxury. So essentially taking a service that you offer and adding other elements to it. The way you deliver it, the way you approach the client, and making it better, elevating it, making it more substantial, more significant. And this has been enabled by the expansion of experiences, and it has created new opportunities for clients, and it's created new opportunities for the people who provide services. Essentially, you can elevate a service today, and you can turn it into a luxury. You can elevate a service. Now, this is something that requires some focus, some planning, some strategy, but it is achievable. And it's a blending of products, tools, location sometimes, people, but it's a blending of a number of elements to deliver to the client something better than they might otherwise experience. And what you're creating as a result of this blending is an elevated experience for the client. Now, as experiences have become more and more a factor for luxury buyers, this has opened up the opportunity to many more entrepreneurs to position what they do in a new way. Now, at its very basic level, you could do this with just your demeanor, and you could do this with a level of amenities. You could just approach the client in a certain way, offer the client certain things, and as a result, create a different experience for them. I remember my dentist did something that I hadn't seen back then. He would, some years ago, he would bring you into the room, the examination room, and then he would pull out a basket, and this basket would be full of CDs, and he would say, "What do you like? Rock, pop, R&B, jazz, classical? What do you like?" And he would then, let you select the music you like and put headphones on you so that you could, I guess, get distracted from what he was doing while you were listening to your favorite music. That's an example of the amenities that you can bring to a client to elevate the experience. Now, in addition to this, he operated out of a beautiful brownstone. He had beautiful artwork all over the place. And it definitely was a very different experience than going to a typical dental office where it felt very cold and felt like a place you really didn't want to be in. So that's an example of how you can make some changes. Now, my recommendation is that you craft the business and you craft the service. And of course, you craft the experience. This is about taking a step back at what do you provide and looking at it and saying, what is the client going to experience from the moment they interact with me to the time that they have received the service and received the benefit? And how do I make every aspect of that different, better, elevated? How do I turn that into a luxury? It can be done with thought. For example, I have clients who operate hair salons in New York City. And a hair salon can do this by appointment only, making sure that you have the right person, there's no waiting to service you. In some cases, they might be dealing with very high-profile people, even celebrities. They can offer private rooms. They can offer private entrances. And this happens, and this is very common. And so what they've done is they've taken the service of a hair salon and they've elevated. I've got medical clients, for example. A doctor decides, okay, I want to accommodate everyone, but I could do a better job if I focused on certain people. So rather than accepting insurance, they say, okay, here's a fee you have to pay annually to participate in a program that I have. And I'll treat you differently than others. You'll have immediate access to me. You'll have more time with me. You'll work with me quarterly on a plan to get you at the optimal health. And so it's an example of how you can do it in the medical profession. I have clients in fitness, and they might be focused on very specific objectives. For example, getting someone in shape maybe for a wedding, maybe for a television appearance. Sometimes they have celebrity clients. A person's working on a movie, for example. And as you can imagine, that's a very high-end offering to get someone in shape for a movie. And believe it or not, in some cases, it's getting them out of shape for a movie, or it's getting them back in shape after a movie. So there are many different ways you can take a service and you can elevate it and make it a luxury. Now, there are a couple of elements that are fundamental to doing this. And if you are enrolled in my programs, you'll learn more about these and you'll learn how to execute these. But I can share just a few of these things with you to help you understand how you can apply this concept to your service and turn it into a luxury. There are three things I want to share with you that are crucial. Now, the first thing is that in all of these cases, what you have here is high intellectual content and approach. Now, what does that mean? It means that rather than treating someone ordinary and treating someone as someone who's just coming through, you give them lots of information about the way you work, about what is needed in their situation, about how important it is to take a certain approach. In other words, you educate them in the process. And this high intellectual content immediately sets you apart from everyone else. It tells the client that they're dealing with someone who's really savvy about their area. And that immediately feels like you're at a different level, completely different level. Now, the second thing is about attention. It is about high touch. And there are so many places you can give someone attention. You can ask someone, how was your travel in this morning? You can ask someone if they're coming in, it's raining outside. Should we have someone meet you outside with an umbrella? Do you have an umbrella? You can ask someone if they want to have lunch or if they want to have music like my dentist did. And the high touch can be a combination of personal touch and systematic or technical touch. What happens a lot today is it's all technical. It's all automation, and email, and call center, and those sorts of things. So you never really feel, even though there's a lot going on, you feel still like you're part of a machine. And I understand why you would do that, because it enables you to accommodate more clients. But the idea here is, if you give more attention, you give high touch, and you make it personal in addition to systematic, the person will feel that luxury experience. And here's a trick. Use individuals to walk people through what they're going to experience from a technology standpoint. For example, you might be getting an email that says XYZ. The next step in our process is XYZ. Let people know what's going to happen as part of the process. Now, the third step here is customization. It's understanding that this is a bespoke process. This is made for you. This is about customizing what you do to your client. So it's not about getting everyone through the same process and doing everything the same way. It's about understanding that you have to have a different approach for different individuals. And if it means, okay, I'm going to throw out the plan, we're going to do this a little differently, that's what you have to do. That includes a level of responsiveness. So you, for example, might follow up with someone if you're in the medical profession and say, well, did you make it home all right? How are you feeling? That discomfort is going to wear off in 24 hours, and so forth. That level of attention and responsiveness makes a big difference. So you can turn your service into a luxury by thinking about it more carefully. And what are those three things that I said to you? Number one, high intellectual involvement in content. Number two is attention, high touch. And number three, make that attention customized. Make it responsive. Make it individualized to the person you're dealing with. Now, there's so much more that I can share with you in terms of business models and actual dialogue you can use, and so many more details associated with doing this well. And my recommendation to you is, if this interests you, is to take a look at my website, luxurylifestyleadvisor.com. luxurylifestyleadvisor.com. That's advisor with an O. What we do there is we help you understand how to advise affluent and wealthy clients, or anyone that wants to experience luxury. And whether you offer a product, a service, or experience, we teach you how to do that, and how to do that in an accelerated way, so that you get the clients that you'd like to have, that you do so at the level of revenue and income that you'd like, and you elevate the business in a way that is different than other businesses. Sure, you can apply these tips, but there's so much more that you can learn through an 8-week program that I offer to the advisors that I have who are using my methodology to elevate their businesses, elevate their practices, and even sales professionals elevate the way they approach what they do. So visit luxurylifestyleadvisor.com and you'll learn more about this program, and you can enroll in my next webinar where I detail it and you can understand all the facets of it. If you like this tip, make sure that you give me a thumbs up here. I'd love to hear your comments about how this applies to you and your business. Make sure you are subscribed to this channel. And of course, if there are other people you know who could benefit from this, share this with them so that they can benefit as well from this guidance. I hope you'll stick around. I have a lot more here and a lot more coming, and I'll see you next time.